let's get started a little early because I'm sitting here bored. How are you guys? Mapmaking is up terrible. Thanks for coming, both of you. And Steinpuls, thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. I mean, well, following. I don't have subscribing yet. Hey, Brim. Got a new camera, so we'll see how this works today. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing some map making. I'm going to it's for the final part of my Dungeon and Dragons game. Basically the thought process is that they've been collecting these staffs pieces, and the evil villain is going to gather them all up and put them together and create a portal, and in that portal they're going to be sucked into another dimension to handle a five-headed dragon. Not Tiamat, just another dragon of some sort. So I'm working on that map today. I thought it would be fun to work on instead of just talking about Grimwood. I'm working on Grimwood. We'll get back to Grimwood next week, I'm sure. Sneak peek for everybody that's here. This is a rough draft of the cover for Grimwood. It's the final logo for my company is not ready, but I'm really liking the way this is turning out. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I really think this cover came out pretty good. So all right, let's get modeling. So the thought process is that this is going to be on a cliff, so there's going to be 2 levels to it. So in Dungeon, have either of you probably haven't? Terrible. Have you used Dungeondraft yet? No, Brim hasn't. So we're going to actually create 2 levels. We're going to have a ground level, and then we're going to go ahead and create a cliffside. And I'm actually going to work on most of the cliffside tonight. But what we're going to do is we're going to add the ground level at a lower capacity. So what this is going to do is I'm going to then come up and I'm going to actually go into a path tool, and I'm going to grab a cliff base. I know I have some nice ones here. Yeah, this one will do. We'll have a better one. Really want to use gray. Do this one. Now, I always have to check which direction I'm going, and that's the direction I want. Oops. Oh, you're writing. Okay. No. Undo. Okay. So what I want to do here is I'm going to start on this direction, and I'm just gonna create a cave-like structure, cliff-like structure. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to create several layers underneath this. In fact, actually, I might increase that width. It's supposed to be a big cave. Big. I don't like that either. Maybe half of that. So 2.58. Yeah, that's a good size. And then you just kind of, oops, I want over, I want under. You just kind of build up underneath. We want it to be pretty far, so I'm gonna keep building this up till I get to a good distance away. Because what I'm gonna do, alright. Yeah, that works. No, it doesn't. So the thought process here is that you have your ground level. And what will happen is we will build this is Dungeondraft. I have lots and lots of assets for it. Actually, I wanted the scatter tool because I want to take these ones, not those ones. Oh, I don't think it likes running Dungeondraft and streaming at the same time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to build the forest down below so that when you are sorry, this working and thing is really, it's really fun. It has, once I get into the pathing, all right. So the thought process here is that we go ahead and build this forest. And what will happen is that will all be a layer underneath this. So I'll actually have two images, and then what I'll do is I'll use Photoshop to create depth in there. So I'll blur out one of the back image to kind of give it some depth. Is the thought process. So this is like a cliff that's hanging over a valley. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here to my terrain brush, and I'm going to choose a rock texture that kind of matches the grayness of I might have to go to my layers and tell it to allow. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do it with patterns then. I was hoping to do it with that, but do it with that. I'll just take it into Photoshop. I like that terrain though. We'll use for a good terrain to go with the stone that I chose. Might have to change that stone. Wait, I might have found some. Making any of this stone. Alright. I guess the cliff's gonna have to change. Not a problem. To the path tool, select tool. Select these paths and just remove them. But good terrain matches. I think that one's gonna work. Have to get to the right path. The right path was overlay. Work. Might work. That's not gonna work. We'll build this out. What's neat about this, I'll just use this one because I can make it work. This one I can make work. So what I can do is I can actually take a shadow path. That. Give it a shadow so it looks like it's deeper than what it actually is. And what I want to do is on my terrain brush, I want to come up here. And there is you just want a flat version I can erase in Photoshop. Alright, let's also fix this grass issue here. Wrong color. This terrain's about the worst part for me because I don't have enough assets. Make it. Hey, stuff. Thanks for showing up. Alright, I'm gonna have to move my camera. Hard to see the chat. There we go. Yeah, we'll do that. And then what you can do is you can increase the intensity, decrease the intensity, increase the brush. Get a nice, good mixture of the colors. All around. A nice blend. It's two blending moods. There's just smooth, and then they have this like blending pattern. So that's what we're gonna do there. Get kind of like a path. And let's add, I'm gonna add some snow actually, because they need the legend told of snow, so maybe we'll have snow lead out into this cliff. And then I'm going to add 4 more layers because I want to add a dirt path. Clear intensity, lower brush. I don't like that dirt. Right. Multiple choices. Okay. So now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my patterns. Grab a nice floor pattern for my altar area. Probably should have done one of these just to make sure. Let's use that. We'll do a circle. Nope, don't like that. We'll do a circle, but we're gonna do one of these. I'll do a wall around it to snapping off. Then what I'll do is I'll use a path of stairs. Path pool. There you go. That's good. There's stairs leading up. We still have to do some shadowing, but we'll get there. And on the altar itself, let's have increase. Make this a little bit. All right, we'll do it with objects then. Like that better. I need it bigger. Circle. So we'll have the center of the circle, and then we'll add over top of that an altar. And we'll do an altar with a so it's a lot harder to talk and do this than it was to type. I'm surprised. I would think typing would have been harder. But then what do we have on the altar? Oh, a skull. Skull of a dead man. Actual regular size. Pick up snapping. Need staff pieces, so a wand. book. Reading from. Absolutely. Give me 1 sec. That better? Not at all. How you doing with your COVID? You getting there? Let's see here. I need pieces. Do they have a broken staff? Broken wand? They don't, but they have They have things that I could use for pieces. Really a staff that they're dealing with. Yeah. I think we'll do that. Different pieces there. And maybe have a couple crystals. Yeah, I tried increasing the delay, but there was... haven't found a good way of doing it yet. It keeps out the bots, I've noticed. What else would be on a magic altar where they're trying to raise the undead, dead gods? Candles, I suppose. Blood. Okay. Yep. Bowl of blood. A bowl better. Something simple. And let's have a rug. I wanted a special color, but I don't think that's going to work. Look for a rug that might fit. Not really a rug. Symbols, magic symbols. There we go. Using a pentagram. Pentagram is not. Alright, so I made a mistake. I should raise these all one level. Bring them to level. Now that I can have. Now I can have this magic rune centralized. Need what else? I want to block. That's not why I was looking for stone for, though. Looking for this. This now. Have a couple columns. I know there's a symbol here for what I'm looking for. Gotta find the right term right now. I can shrink this down to be fuzzy, and that will probably help. Not a lock. Or a block. Looking for basically a column that I can use. I can use for like a column that I can attach prisoners to. I think stone was my best option. Match. So far, duplicate it. So. And then we'll get some chains so that we can put a prisoner, because the bad guys still have the still have one of the character's parents. So it'd be cool if I could get them to be involved. Have them chained up there. We can add some blood so they were battered and bruised. All right. I want to make this more interesting, so I think I'm going to have different levels. Nope, wrong way. Gotta go this way. I want them to have different levels so that we can density is too much. I'm like, why is it? So, all right. So the thought process is that different levels, they have this going on, climbing up. Let's add some rocks. Or maybe some big rocks. Big rocks, and then lots of little rocks. So we'll go to the scatter tool. Pebbles. Pebbles going there. I'm not sure I'm satisfied with the ground. Definitely not satisfied with the ground. This one that bothers me. Ooh. It's not. No. Yeah, go with that one. Yeah, no. We'll go. All about picking the right things here. Not that one. One base. Yeah, I think we'll go that way. And we'll add some more snow in here. Then we'll do one, but I don't actually want it to be blood. I want it to be snow. Get some snow down, lay it down. So how's everybody else day going? Lay some snow down here. This is going to be a altar on top of a cliffside. So what will happen is all this gray area, I'm going to Photoshop to show the trees underneath. So it will be a nice cliff-like structure. And then what's going to happen is, so the whole story so far stuff is that I've had my players hunting for 7 pieces of a staff that's been broken into 7 pieces. They've collected 3 of them, and the enemies have 3 of them. They're on their way of collecting the last piece. So what will happen is they're going to reach this cliffside with the 4 pieces that they have a big battle with the enemies, with the enemies having the goal of just getting the pieces. And then the whole thought process is that what will happen is this will eventually turn into a portal, and the main enemy will run into that portal. And what will happen is I have a really cool animated map of a 5-headed dragon in a void world. So the final battle will be with fighting a giant, ancient 5-headed dragon. That's the thought process. They are level 15 now, so I think they can handle it. fact, 95% of the time, I'm struggling to find enemies stronger than they are. Now, yeah, I'm struggling because they're level 15. They literally took on a CR 23 and a CR 18 last game, and they just slaughtered them. So I really have to up my ante on this last one. I need more enemies on the field, but the problem is when you add more enemies with 5th edition, it adds to the time. Yeah, it's 5th edition. So it's one of those things where, yeah, I want like hundreds of enemies on the field, but 5th edition just does not handle lots of enemies very well. Yeah, I mean, it literally took them, I think, 3 rounds to murder this ancient demon and a spawn of evil. They like literally just, I was expecting the fight to take a lot longer, and it didn't. Now, there's a reason why I'm moving to Savage Worlds. I think Savage Worlds handles enemies in a really good way. The way it handles it is that there's 2 types of enemies. There's wildcard enemies, and then there's mooks. And you can have mooks take 1 hit and pretty much are dead. Wildcard enemies have as many hit points and stuff. Yeah, I love Savage Worlds. I found many good things about Savage Worlds right now. So I mean, any system has their downfalls and their pluses. Oops. Let's turn off the shadow and redo those 2. Yeah, I mean, what's nice about Savage Worlds is they kind of get around that by pretty much allowing you to create your own flavor to any spell. And most of their spells, they cover most D&D spells, so you can usually, with the right flavoring, get a very similar feel. But I did convert a 5th edition to Savage Worlds, and we did have some problems with spells. Spells were especially hard to convert because, 1, you get so many in D&D, and 2, it's not quite the same type of setup in Savage Worlds as it is the rest of, in like Pathfinder D&D world. I'm really hoping Black Flag has a lot of solutions solved, because I really like Cobalt Press's stuff. I've pretty much bought most every book that they've come out with. I really enjoy their spells too. Their spells are really unique. Yeah, and then you have supplements like Cobalt's Press Deep Magic 1 and 2, which have 400 different spells that you can use. It is one of the benefits to playing a 5th edition. And I will say that I am going to work on supplementing Grimwood Designs, Grimwood City into a Pathfinder edition, but it's going to take a lot more work. One, because Pathfinder has a strong rule against using AI to help in any way, so I'm going to have to get more artists involved. And two, it's going to take a lot more work to make it's almost writing a system for it, because it's not really built for it. See here, let's give them some rocks to hide behind. But if they want to sneak up, they can. Not that I want to give them more advantages. Player versus DM. I play story based. So as long as it's good for the story, I'm good with it. I don't know what more I can do with this. Water. It's really a cliff. It really have water. Let's put a river. Move some stuff, but it's fine. Not now, EA. Get Move this around here. We'll take path. That one that I want. Yeah. We'll add that in Photoshop. Ooh. I like cloud. Let's add a shadow. Okay. The way it's standing out. Add some more shadows. There. And then we'll add some shadows here. Back here. All the lights coming from one direction. Shadows back here. The size. Two. That's too much. But yeah, this is coming out pretty good, I think. Will be a good panel map to have some major enemies in. It's big, which is one reason why I'm making my map instead of finding my map. Weird, so that way it's nice and easy for me to grab. Photoshop. Can anybody think of anything else that might be on a cliffside altar that I can add? I mean, I'm going to add shadows and depth to the cliff side as soon as I get it into Photoshop. That's it. All right. Well, let's ask Alejandro. Does Alejandro need a brief summary of the place too? Oh, that summons a portal. God. That has skull. Actually, blood might be getting into its. I know it should be at least 30 words. Let's see what it will come up with anyways. What is the purpose? Who, see? Yeah, I'm going to need a lot more to build off Alejandro. We'll have to play with that though. I want to do 2 versions of this. Woohoo! Thanks, Nelt SP. You've made me reach my goal for the month. I wanted to reach 15 by the end of the month. It would be my first month streaming. That's awesome. Thank you. All right. So let's take this into, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll export this as on Photoshop. We don't want grids or lighting. Let's export this. Thanks. D&D maps. We'll call this cliff side altar. Or for this, I want to there was a portal. There was multiple versions of this portal. Yeah. This, like this one too. If Side altar. Get the portal on. Come on. And then last but not least, I want to do just the ground. Lift, side, altar, ground. Oh, stuff. I hadn't shown you this because you came in late. This is a mock-up of what I think I'm going to have my cover be for Grimwood City fantasy setting. Logo for me is still in fluctuation, but most of the rest is pretty much how I'm going to have it. But let's get back to here. Let's save this because I haven't saved yet, which is really a bad idea. Cliff side. All right. Bringing up Photoshop. Let's open up. Here, D&D maps. Altar ground with portal. Come on, Photoshop. You can do it. Not that hard. They're just PNGs. There we go. Thank you. I find Savage Worlds to be very easy to homebrew, and just because of the sheer ease, openness of it. It's very open. All right, let's mark these layers. Ground. Then I want to have in the middle, I'm going to create a render clouds. And what I'm going to do is I am going to opacity down quite a bit on those clouds. Then I want to add some shadowing here. Brush. I know this looks weird, but trust the process. Okay, so now switch that to overlay and reduce it down to it didn't. I had to enter in too much information. If I could have just asked it the question, I think it would have helped, but without asking the question, I couldn't. It wasn't getting what I wanted. It was only giving me world building stuff, like, which is great for Scabbard. It's like, who built the altar? What's the altar for? What was the power? What's the power of the altar? Where does the portal lead? Things like that, which isn't going to help in figuring out what graphs, what map, how to add to the map. All right, I think I'm going to add one more layer. Darken this up just a little bit. There we go. And then let's add selection. That. Do it this way. There are multiple ways of doing this in Photoshop if I need to Photoshop. 3D render some more clouds. This time and to do them there. Drop these down. That way, it will look like the clouds are rising. So, all right, so that's that. And then what we'll do is in the portal one, we should be able to fix that jumping. They won't notice. But I don't like this. All right. That at the end, let's. No problem. I'm pretty much done. So, I mean, it's pretty much done. What do you guys think? So, map's ready. So, how so? No, I'm interested in your thought process. Because it's always interesting to see how other people would have laid it out. So, now this is for the 5th edition, not my Savage Worlds. I wish it was for my Savage Worlds. Well, the thought process on this is going to be the final major fight with like 12 different guys that they've been handling. So I kind of want it to be fairly open. Because there's going to be also some undead mobs that they're going to have to face too. But the thought process here, my thought process, and let me know if this is flawed because it very well could be. I'm going to let my PCs actually sneak up, and they'll be actually able to sneak up to these cliff sides and hide behind these rocks to take a look at what's going on. And then react however they want at that point. It was, yes, it was somewhat intentional on that. Yeah, except that most of my NPCs are going to have counterspell. Like, almost all of them, because I do have a fireball crazy wizard. And most of them are demon blood, so they're immune to fire. But yes, it does open up the chance for a fireball. Very much so. Because let me go ahead and export this. Export PNG. Yeah, I wish it used extras in a better way. I was just saying that before you got on. I'm like, my biggest problem is that more extras you add to D&D, longer combat takes. Where in Savage Worlds, the more extras you add, quicker it is. At least my experience. I don't have much experience with Savage Worlds yet. A launch game world. Where's she now? Okay, there you go. I should be able to import this fairly easy. Let's see. Usually I export directly from Dungeondraft, but this time I wanted to do some extra work in Photoshop. Oh, come on. Why is everything running slow? Load. Close. And it is a 70 pp. We fix that later, I guess. Figure the grid to be 70. And let's draw some wall. There's some walls I have. It's a module. I'm pretty sure that's a module one. From Ripper. Actually, these should be terrain walls. Well, that. Yeah, limited. Well, all right. No, I won't put terrain walls up there. Yeah. So they don't fall off the edge. Yeah, that's Ripper's file menu. And then this Willamette. Leave on once. Awesome. Hide that until they turn on the portal. Let's get some lighting in here because it's bright day. It's a bright day. Voila, we have an altar battle map. I kind of agree with Nelt. It does open up. But hey, my PCs are supposed to be the hero, not me. They're going to have fun either way. So. Awesome. I mean, that's that. I mean, unless you guys have more questions or if you want to sit and chat, I'd be happy to sit and chat. But as far as map to Foundry, that's pretty much it. I'm so happy I made my goal. You don't understand. I never thought I would make 15 in a month. Have to increase that next stream. But yeah, so I mean, I do know that I am working on getting a Grimwood City campaign running in Foundry and streaming. And I'm planning on starting that in May. So if you guys want some actual gameplay, gonna have to wait till May because I have a big trip in April, and then I gotta find players that are willing to show their face on camera and all that. But I'm definitely gonna have an actual play of Grimwood City so that you can see the world and that type of thing. So I think my new camera worked out well. It was I'm using my phone and it's got a better quality. So oops. Speaking of cameras, see, much better quality. I wasn't expecting to go to here. Yeah, much better quality. I gotta fix that. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great night. I'm going to call it here because one, my throat's done and we're pretty much done. So I appreciate you all showing up. Have any suggestions on what we should do next, you can always message me in my Discord channel, which you can find on in the below the chat. Yeah. I'm interested in doing what you guys want, whether you guys want tutorials on like how I handle different situations as far as a GM. We can talk about those type of things. But next week I'm open to new and interesting things. So waiting for chat. I love the chat delay. It's so... I'll get used to it, but it takes us time. Well, good night, guys, and thanks so much.